Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Tanya Grantham, and welcome to 2023. And welcome to my new project. What I would like to do today is introduce you to this concept that I have of creating a community and a group where we are able to discuss a number of concepts and to open up the field and invite discussion around topics that I believe are sometimes viewed as taboo and sometimes are just not spoken about because it's not done. I would like to explore over the course of this year the veterinary profession. And I would, as I mentioned earlier, like to investigate the topics that we don't speak about. And those topics would include things like acupuncture, which is not commonly spoken about, not in South African circles anyway. Let's talk about things like homeopathy and herbal medicine and the roles that they perhaps can play in the veterinary profession and in assisting with healing our patients. And if you're not a vet and you're listening to this, to assist with healing your companions. So your pet dogs and cats, and perhaps your horses, and perhaps even some of the farm animals that you have in and around your space. I want to look at things like energy medicine. Why don't we consider performing Reiki? Or why are we not aware of myofascial release techniques? Or what about let's explore quantum physics? So much has now been discovered in the realm of physics that was not taught to me. I am strictly a Newtonian physics graduate, and yet we are moving away from Newtonian physics, which is the physics of matter, and into quantum physics, which is the physics of energy. And as we move into that realm and that new dimension, things will change. Everything is changing all the time. You know, those of you that have known me for a long time will appreciate how many iterations of veterinarian I have been through and how many changes and different caps, if you like, I've worn, not just in my professional capacity, but in my personal as well. I would like to explore topics like business. You know, how do we create conscious business? How do we live our personal values every single day? And some of these topics may be unique to the veterinary professions, but a lot of them are not unique. And as human beings, we are all being exposed to fatigue and burnout. Within the veterinary profession, what about compassion fatigue? And if you're in any medical profession, compassion fatigue is very real. As a person who has suffered burnout before and has had some serious medical issues in my younger years, that's going on for 20 years ago now, but the physical problems that I developed were instrumental in putting me on this path of exploring other options and looking at what other opportunities are out there that we are not taught at university. And in fact, we're not taught, there's so many things that we aren't taught. And how do we experience this journey of life? And how do we continue to grow? And how do we adjust? These are a few of the things that I'd really like to explore in this coming year. Many of us have faced burnout. Many of us struggle with putting up boundaries. Many of us are unable to speak up or speak out. What if we are called to do things that really goes against our own set of values? I think that in the veterinary profession, we are not on purpose called at times to practice outside of our own set of values. And what sort of dilemma does that create for me as a person? It's created a lot of dilemma for me. I'd like to explore that. And how do we even understand what our values are? Every person is going to have a different set of values. Do you know what your values are? Um, and when we start looking at how do we live within our profession, or how do we live within our career if you aren't a veterinary professional? How do we interact within our family, with our friends, with the other human beings that we come into contact with? What happens to our emotions? Are we in touch with our emotions? Do we know what to do with that irritation? What about the anger? What about the shame and the guilt and all of those things that we are faced with, and very often which we suppress? This space is a space in which I would really love to look at how do we put all of these things into some sort of context that enables us to be more at peace, and that enables us to grow, and enables us to establish a lifestyle or a life that serves us. I think that's ultimately what I'd like to look at. And through the course of the year, and however it unfolds and whatever it develops into, what tools have we got? What skills have we got? What have we inherently got that we're able to put into practice? What do other people have that we could incorporate into our daily interactions? There is so much out there. There's so much on social media. What makes me different? Well, what makes you different? Every single one of us is an individual. I have been a veterinarian for nearly 30 years. Within that field, I believe that I have a lot to offer, especially to the younger graduates, and not only to the vets, but also to the vet nurses, the veterinary physiotherapists, the animal health technicians. I'd like to share what I have discovered and the things that have assisted me to continue within this field that I'm called upon to be a part of. You know, being a vet is a calling for me. And you may find in many of your careers that it's a calling. And we often find ourselves in positions of conflict. And what do we do about them? Going forward into 2023, I would invite you to spend a bit of time here. I am aiming at creating a community where we can bring any topic to the table, where we can openly discuss anything, that we learn to move beyond our judgments and beyond the things that we've been taught and what society has taught us, or perhaps even what religion and our families and our school systems. We move beyond what we have been conditioned to believe, and we really look at where are we as individuals right now on this planet. We are going to have different ideas and different opinions, and that's the beauty of it. I don't have to make you believe the same way that I believe. I don't have to make you like something that I like. But what I do want to do in this space is open up a forum for discussion and a forum for conversation where we aren't pointing fingers, but where we are really and truly exploring everybody's right to be here, everybody's right to an opinion, and everybody's experiences within this wonderful place that we call Earth and that we find ourselves on right now. So please, if you're interested and if you're curious and if you'd like to hear a little bit more and start this journey with me, I would invite you to join me. I'm going to be posting a short video with a topic once a week. It's going to be on a Thursday evening. will create, or I have created, a private Facebook group. So please, the information will be posted below this video. And I would ask you, if you're interested, request to join. And let's see where this goes. Let's view this as an adventure. Let's look at what we can discover about each other. And I'm so keen to learn from you and to hear from you and to experience your side and the way that you have navigated life. I know there's lots of this out there, but hey, let's give it a go. And I look forward to hearing from you.